This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 521 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by Equestrian Collections. Hi, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is from Dr. Wendy Ying. Dr. Ying is the co-host of the driving radio show here on the Horse Radio Network, as well as one of the few competition female four-in-hand drivers in the world. Plus, she is a veterinarian that practices traditional Chinese medicine. Today, things you always wanted to know about acupuncture, but were afraid to ask. But first, a word from today's sponsor, EquestrianCollections.com. Autumn is here. Time to cash in on Mother Nature's horse-friendly weather and take to the saddle with renewed enthusiasm. In so doing, you'll likely notice a few gaps in you and your horse's fall wardrobes. That turnout sheet that's seen its last roll in the pasture, the fleece vest that is well past vintage and moving swiftly towards ratty. EquestrianCollections.com has what you and your horse need, plus the latest just can't live without fashions for fall. Visit EquestrianCollections.com today for fresh, fashionable, and functional items for your horse. Now, enjoy today's tip.
Today, we're talking about torture. Acupuncture. It's not torture. Okay, well, that's what I want to find out.
It's not torture.
All right, so we agreed to do this a little bit differently today. We're going to do a question and answer session.
Yeah.
And I'm going to question you
right.
about acupuncture because it scares the hell out of me, to be honest.
Don't be scared. The questions that
You told me that you were doing acupuncture under your boyfriend's fingernails.
No, I was not doing it under his fingernails. I was doing it next to his fingernails in his cuticles.
Oh, that makes it better. God, it hurts just thinking
I know,
about it.
doesn't that make it worse?
All right, so acupuncture. First of all, first question everybody wants to know is they say it doesn't hurt. It's got to frickin' well hurt. You're poking needles into me.
It does. Sometimes it does hurt.
Okay.
But
at least you're honest.
But this is the thing. Sometimes in America or, Europe, whatever, people take these Chinese things and they turn it into spa treatments. So then you assume there's going to be aromatherapy and soft music playing, incense burning, and it's going to be like a massage.
Yeah, girls walking on your back.
Right.
Yeah.
But in China, this is medicine. So when you go to the doctor, it doesn't always feel good. Like, it's not like a spa treatment. It's sometimes you have to do these things because you're in pain and we have to fix it. So, true Chinese medicine can be a little bit rough. And in fact, when I go to my acupuncturist, sometimes I'm screaming and she's like, "Oh, sorry," but she doesn't stop. She just...
Oh, you're really talking us into this.
I know. But the thing is, I'm in pain. Like, if you're in pain like that and you have a muscle spasm, it sometimes hurts when the needle goes in. But once the needle's in and you start to move the energy
and
around,
that's true.
then it feels
anytime
better.
you get a shot, once the needle's in, you're fine.
Right.
Even,
And the needles are teeny tiny.
Even an IV,
Right.
once it's in, unless you bump it.
Yeah, that's painful.
Yeah, that's painful. But unless you bump it, it's just in there.
It's just in there. So basically, if your muscles are tight and spasmed, even pushing on it's going to hurt. So the needle does go in and it's a little bit painful going in because it can cause more of a spasm. But then once the treatment goes on, then you're hoping to relax that muscle and then make you feel better and release endorphins so that you have natural pain relief.
Now, do they heat the needles? Are they heated or
You
not?
can. That's a certain type of acupuncture. Okay. And there's all the yin and the yang. So the yin is like coldness and the yang is hot. So a lot of arthritic diseases of elderly people are yin problems. So we want to increase the heat for those problems. So you put the needles in and then you can put this herb called moxa on the tips and it heats it up. With the animals, since they have fur and you don't want the moxa, it's kind of like a punk, when you do firecrackers. So you just hold the moxa over it and heat up the needle. You don't put it on the needle.
So it's not actually a flame that heats up the needle?
No, it's not a flame. It's just like a burning ash.
Okay.
And basically the needle's in maybe like 3 inches deep into the muscle. So
Is it that far?
Oh, like if you have to go into your gluteals, like a person's gluteals, 3 inches would not be that far. So with the horses,
It sounds like a lot, though.
I know. With the horses, the 3-inch needle is the typical one I use for the back and most major muscles. And then I do actually have 6-inch needles that I use sometimes for like the deep base of the neck, or like in the hip joints. Not in the joints, but in the hip joint area, to get into those big pieces of muscle. And if you did heat those needles, then the heat would go all the way down the needle, and then it causes some relaxation deep inside.
Why does it work?
Why does it work? Well, it works on the body's energy. So when we say you have pain in your body somewhere, it's like stagnant energy. It's not flowing. So the acupuncture is resetting your body's energy. So that's the theoretical way of saying it. There's a lot of different theories on why it works. Like if you've ever heard of myofascial release techniques, some people believe that the meridians work on the myofascia. So that's like the covering of your muscle, and sometimes it gets twisted. Like, you know, if you're sleeping in your pajamas and you get all twisted and it feels really uncomfortable. Well, sometimes you can have a pull in your, like say you have a muscle spasm in your neck. Well, since your myofascia is all connected, it can hurt in other places of your body. So you're trying to like unwind the tension in the body. And then other times with other points it works on nerves, and then other times it works on hormones. Sometimes it just works locally on muscle spasm. But there's different points for different things you want to do. Also, a lot of times I do acupuncture on points that affect the viscera or your organs.
Now, you do see it work, especially with the horses I've seen get acupuncture, because you'll actually see them just relax right there.
Yeah, and when they're
it's
relaxed
so visible.
like that, yeah, that's when they get the endorphin release.
Yeah.
But it's also very, very popular for fertility problems.
Is that right?
Yeah, so that would be, working on the viscera and the hormonal balance.
I didn't know the hormonal part.
Because your parasympathetic nerves are like your organs don't just like function on their own. It's all connected to your nerves. It's all one thing, your nerves, your organs, your immune system. So acupuncture, the different points can stimulate different things and upregulate and downregulate chemical processes in your body.
Huh. Now, did you have it done, have you had this done your whole life yourself? Or was
No.
this something fairly new for you?
I started acupuncture in 2004.
And that's when you started to have it done to you, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I was kind of afraid of needles. And I don't know why I never did it before. I wish I did, because I've always had some neck issues.
Now, does it help you?
Oh, it helps a lot. And I did have some other issues that, immune issues that I needed fixed. And I mean, my doctor told me basically there's like nothing. He said there was nothing wrong with me, and I would just have to deal with it or take drugs. And not that drugs, I'm not saying I'm against drugs, but
That was your English doctor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went to my acupuncturist, and this was when I very first started acupuncture school. And one of my professors that taught the herbology was a human acupuncturist trained in China. And she would have sessions for the students if they wanted to do it. And she fixed me in 3 treatments. So that's when it really, really won me over. Because I had a condition where they told me, like, well, you're just going to have to live with this for the rest of your life.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to help you.
And you're trying to help me, too? I haven't agreed to the acupuncture yet. So tell me...
We'll find a human acupuncturist for you.
Maybe. I heard you do it, humans.
Because I'll just twitch you when you start complaining. Put you in the cross eyes and tell you to stand still.
What is the most dramatic horse situation that you've been in that you've seen results from?
A horse situation?
Yeah, that you've done acupuncture on and you went, wow, this was dramatic.
Well, I would say the most powerful application of it that I have seen. It's kind of a tie, but the first one is for back pain, especially like sacroiliac problems, because we don't have any. Of course, we do have like medicine that can help that, but we don't have any specific treatment that's 100% successful. And I think with a combination of acupuncture and conventional medicine, you have much better and faster results that last longer. And like chronic back pain is something that can put a horse, I mean, it can put him out of his job or make them unrideable. Like say they buck everybody off. And that's, if you have a horse that's unrideable or people think is dangerous, that's the fastest way to the auction or death.
Mm-hmm. No, and it's just like human. When you have back pain, it affects your whole life.
And sometimes with horses with back pain, they compensate so well, so you can't see a head bob. You can't see why they're lame. You're just like, oh, well, he won't take the lead, or it's crabby, or whatever. So you don't see it, and then you just think it's their personality. So, and then the other situation that I see with the horses is, emotional problems. So with acupuncture and herbal therapy, it's really helpful for them to deal with the emotional stress of daily living, because some horses are just going to be non-functional athletes because they can't live in the stall all the time or travel or do the job that they're supposed to do.
All right. Well, there it is. What is your website, by the way? We never we give everybody else's, but we never give
the number 5 and then elements, and then the number 4, and then animals. Okay. So 5elements4animals.com.
All right, good. So people can check it out there. And if you're in the Kentucky or Florida over the winter area, then you're available too.
Yep.
For acupuncture and all kinds of traditional Chinese medicine.
Yeah, and I can help you find an acupuncturist nearby if you need help with that.
Well, there you go. Thanks, Wendy and Glenn the Geek. To listen to all of Wendy's tips, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the experts drop-down menu on the left. All of the experts are right there, alphabetized and easy to find. You can also go to Wendy's website at 5, that's the number 5, elements, plural, 4, the number 4, animals, plural.com. 5elements4animals.com. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like to hear us cover. You can subscribe to all of the great shows of the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.